My girlfriend yelled, "Stop asking me questions again and again, or I'll leave." I calmly pointed toward the door and said, "You may go." She stomped away in anger. 2 months later, there was a knock on the door. When I opened the gate, she was standing there, holding a report in her hand, something that no longer had any importance to me. I'm Tyler, 32 years old. For the past 6 years, I've been working as a commercial real estate analyst in Seattle. It's not the flashiest job, but it pays well, around $140,000 a year, plus bonuses. I live alone in a 2-bedroom condo in Capitol Hill. My life was stable, predictable, and honestly, a bit boring until I met Isabel. Isabel was a graphic designer. Freelance. We met at a friend's housewarming party in March 2023. She had this energy about her, spontaneous, creative, always talking about her next big project. I was drawn to that. I'm the spreadsheet guy. She was the vision board girl. We balanced each other, or so I thought. We dated for about 8 months before she moved in with me that November. Things were good. Really good. We'd cook together on weekends, binge-watch true crime documentaries, and she'd work from my second bedroom that I'd converted into her studio. I even helped her land a few corporate clients through my network. She was grateful. She told me I was the best thing that ever happened to her. But around February 2024, something shifted. She started getting distant. Short responses. Always on her phone. When I'd ask her about her day, she'd snap at me. "You're always interrogating me, Tyler. Can't you just let me breathe?" I wasn't interrogating her. I was asking normal questions. How was your meeting? Did the client approve the mock-ups? Want to grab dinner? One evening in late March, I came home early. I'd wrapped up a site visit ahead of schedule and thought I'd surprise her with Thai food from her favorite spot on Broadway. When I walked in, she was on a video call, laughing, leaning into the screen with this smile I hadn't seen in weeks. I set the food down on the kitchen counter. She didn't even notice me. I didn't think much of it. She was a freelancer. Calls were part of the job. But then I noticed the name on the screen before she quickly minimized it. Jordan. I didn't recognize the name. I stood there for a second, holding the takeout bags, watching her type something with that same smile. "Hey," I said. She jumped. Literally jumped. "Oh my God, Tyler. You scared me. Sorry. Brought dinner." She glanced at the bags. "Oh, thanks. I'm not really hungry. You haven't eaten since breakfast." I said I'm not hungry, okay? Her tone was sharp. Defensive. I didn't push it. Just put the food in the fridge and went to take a shower. That night, lying in bed, I felt this knot in my stomach. Something was off. But I told myself I was being paranoid. Update 1. A week later, on April 3rd, I decided to ask her about Jordan. We were sitting on the couch. She was scrolling through Instagram. I was reading an industry report on my tablet. "Hey, who's Jordan?" I asked casually, not looking up. Her head snapped toward me. "What? Jordan? I saw the name on your screen last week during a call." She blinked, then laughed. It sounded forced. "Oh, Jordan's a client." "What?" "Just curious." "You're always curious about the wrong things, Tyler." She went back to her phone. That stung, but I let it go. Over the next week, I noticed more things. She'd angle her phone away from me when texting. She started going to networking events 3 nights a week. She'd come home late, smelling like cigarettes even though she didn't smoke. When I asked about the events, she'd give vague answers. "Oh, just some designer meetups. You wouldn't be interested." "Try me," I said once. "Tyler, stop. You're being clingy." Clingy. That was a new one. Then came April 15th, tax day. I was organizing documents in the study when I found her laptop open on the desk. She'd gone downstairs to grab coffee from the Starbucks on the corner. I wasn't snooping. Her screen was literally facing me, open to her messages. And there it was. A thread with Jordan. The messages went back months. January, February, March. I didn't read everything. I couldn't. My hands were shaking. But I saw enough. "I can't stop thinking about you. Last night was amazing. I miss you too. He doesn't get me like you do. I'll figure out how to tell him soon." There were photos too. Him and her at a bar. His arm around her waist. Her head on his shoulder. I felt like I couldn't breathe. When she came back 15 minutes later, I was still sitting there, staring at the screen. "Tyler? You okay?" She set the coffee down. I looked at her. Really looked at her. "Who's Jordan?" Her face went white. "I told you a CLI. Don't." My voice was calm. Too calm. I saw the messages. She froze. Then her expression changed. Defensive. Angry. You went through my laptop? It was open. You left it open. That doesn't give you the right to invade my privacy. I stood up slowly. Invade your privacy? Isabel, you're cheating on me. I'm not. She stopped. Took a breath. Rubbed her temples. It's not what you think. Then what is it? Jordan and I, we've been talking. That's it. Just talking. Just talking? You told him last night was amazing. You took photos together. You told him you'd figure out how to tell me something. What exactly were you planning to tell me? She didn't answer. She just stared at me, her jaw tight, her hands balling into fists. How long? I asked. Tyler. How long? She exhaled shakily. 3 months. 3 months. That would have been January, right around the time she started acting cold. Have you slept with him? Silence. Isabel. Have you slept with him? Once. Her voice was barely a whisper. The room tilted. I gripped the edge of the desk. Once, I repeated. It was a mistake. I was drunk. We went to a bar after a networking thing and... Stop. I don't want to hear the details. Tyler, please. When? March 10th. March 10th. 2 weeks before I found the messages. 2.5 weeks after we'd celebrated our 1-year anniversary of living together. I'd bought her flowers. Made her favorite pasta. We talked about maybe getting engaged next year. I laughed. It came out cold and bitter. What's funny? She asked. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Tyler, I'm sorry. I really am. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything? I turned to her. You've been lying to me for 3 months. You slept with him. You've been planning to leave me. And you're telling me it didn't mean anything? I wasn't planning to leave. I was just confused. Confused about what? She threw her hands up. About us. About everything. You're always so predictable, Tyler. Every day is the same with you. Work, home, Netflix, bed. You never want to do anything spontaneous. You never take risks. You're safe. And I don't want safe anymore. The words hung between us. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out. Pack your things and leave. She stared at me. You're serious? Dead serious. Tyler, come on. Let's just talk about this. We're done talking. You made your choice. Now get out of my home. She started crying then. Big, dramatic tears. The kind she used to cry during sad movies. Please. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I'll cut him off. I promise. I'll block him right now. Just don't do this. I walked to the door and opened it. You can stay tonight if you need to pack. But I want you gone by tomorrow morning. She didn't move. Just stood there, sobbing, mascara running down her face. Did you hear me? This is my home too. No. It's my condo. Your name isn't on the lease. You have until tomorrow. I went to the bedroom and locked the door. Sat on the edge of the bed. My phone buzzed. A text from her. I love you. Please don't do this. I didn't respond. Update 2. She left the next morning at 6 a.m. I heard her dragging her suitcases out. The door clicked shut. I didn't get up. For the next 2 weeks, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts. Voice messages. Emails. I miss you. Can we please talk? I made the biggest mistake of my life. Jordan means nothing to me. I ignored all of it. On April 22nd, she showed up at my building. The doorman called up. Sir, there's an Isabel here to see you. Tell her I'm not home. She showed up again on April 28th. Same result. I blocked her number on April 30th. Blocked her on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Then I threw myself into work. Took on 2 extra projects. Started staying at the office until 9 p.m. My boss pulled me aside one day. Tyler, you okay? You're burning yourself out. I'm fine, I lied. I wasn't fine. I was a mess. But at least work kept me distracted. By mid-May, I'd started going to the gym again. Hit the weights hard. Lost 10 pounds. Reconnected with my college buddy, Harrison, who I'd been neglecting. We'd grab beers on Friday nights. I even went on a couple of dates through apps. Nothing serious. Just trying to feel normal again. Life was getting back on track. Then came June 20th. A knock on my door. Around 7 p.m. I'd just gotten home from work. I wasn't expecting anyone. Looked through the peephole. Isabel. My stomach dropped. I opened the door. Kept my expression neutral. What do you want? She looked terrible. Thinner. Dark circles under her eyes. Hair pulled back in a messy bun. She was holding a manila folder. I need to show you something, she said. Her voice was shaky. I'm not interested. Tyler, please. It's important. I almost closed the door. But something in her voice, desperation, maybe, stopped me. You have 5 minutes, I said. She stepped inside. Didn't sit. Just stood there in my living room, clutching that folder like her life depended on it. "I'm pregnant," she said. The words hit me like a freight train. I stared at her. "Congratulations. I assume Jordan's the father." She shook her head quickly. "No, it's yours." I actually laughed. "Nice try, Isabel. I'm serious." She opened the folder with trembling hands and pulled out a piece of paper. "This is the ultrasound. I'm 12 weeks along." I looked at the paper. Black and white. A tiny blob on the screen. Date stamp. June 18th, 2024. 12 weeks. I repeated slowly, doing the math in my head. That would put conception in early April. Yes. We hadn't slept together since March. March 28th, she said quietly. It was a Friday night. You came home late from that conference in Portland. We had wine. I remember. I cut her off. My voice was flat. But that doesn't mean it's mine. You were sleeping with Jordan. I told you it was only once. March 10th. We used protection, and I haven't been with him since. And I'm supposed to just believe that? Tyler, I swear on my life. I never slept with him again after that night. I felt so guilty. That's why I kept trying to make it work with you. I handed the ultrasound back to her. Get a paternity test. What? You heard me. Get a paternity test. Until then, this conversation is over. Tyler. No. You lied to me for months. You cheated on me. You don't get to show up here with an ultrasound and expect me to just believe you. Get the test. If it's mine, we'll talk. Until then, get out. Her face crumpled. Tears started streaming down. Okay, I'll get the test. I'll do it tomorrow. Good. Email me the results. Don't call. Don't show up. Email only. She nodded, wiping her face with her sleeve. I'm sorry, Tyler. For everything. I didn't respond. Just open the door. She left. I closed the door and leaned against it, my heart pounding. Update 3. The paternity test results came back on July 8th. 99.9% probability of paternity. She emailed me the lab report at 10:47 a.m. I was in a meeting. Saw the notification on my phone. Excused myself. Went to the bathroom. Read the email 3 times. I was going to be a father. With a woman I didn't trust. Didn't love anymore. Maybe never really loved the way I thought I did. I sat on the bathroom floor for 10 minutes, just staring at my phone. Then I pulled myself together. Went back to the meeting. Finished my presentation. Drove home. Called my lawyer the next day. His name was Gordon. Mid-50s. Handled my condo purchase. I need to draw up a co-parenting agreement, I told him. Okay. Are you and the mother together? No. And we won't be. All right. Let's talk about what you want. We spent 2 hours on the phone. Custody arrangements. Child support. Medical decisions. Everything. Gordon drafted the agreement. Sent it to Isabel's email on July 15th. She signed it without any pushback. Returned it within 48 hours. We agreed on minimal contact. Texts only, and only about the baby. She moved back to her parents' place in Tacoma. I stayed in Seattle. Over the next few months, we communicated purely through logistics. Doctor's appointments. Ultrasound updates. Baby registry. She invited me to the 20-week anatomy scan in September. I went. Sat in that room with her and her mom. Watched the technician move the wand over Isabel's belly. It's a girl, the technician said. Isabel looked at me. I looked at the screen. A girl. My daughter. Do you want to feel her kick? Isabel asked quietly. I hesitated. Then nodded. She took my hand and placed it on her belly. A few seconds later, I felt it. A tiny flutter. I pulled my hand away. She's healthy, the technician said cheerfully. Everything looks great. We left the clinic separately. The baby was born on December 18th, 2024. Isabel texted me at 3 a.m. Water broke. Heading to hospital. I drove to Tacoma. Got there at 5:30 a.m. Labor lasted 14 hours. I stayed in the waiting room most of the time. Her mom would come out with updates. She's at 7 centimeters. Almost time. At 7:42 p.m., the nurse came out. Would you like to come in? I followed her into the delivery room. Isabel was exhausted. Sweaty. Hair plastered to her forehead. You're here, she said. Yeah. 10 minutes later, my daughter was born. They handed her to me first. This tiny, red-faced, screaming bundle wrapped in a hospital blanket. She stopped crying when I held her. Looked up at me with these huge gray eyes. My eyes. Hi, I whispered. Isabel was crying. Happy tears, I think. What should we name her? She asked. You pick, I said. Lily. I looked down at my daughter. Lily. Yeah, that's good. Final update. It's been almost a year since that knock on my door. Lily's 10 months old now. I see her every other weekend, plus one weeknight dinner. She stays with me at my new place in Fremont. I sold the Capitol Hill condo in March. Too many memories. Too much baggage. The new place is bigger. 3 bedrooms. One's mine. One's my office. One's Lily's nursery. I painted it yellow. Bought a white crib. A rocking chair. Put up alphabet decals on the wall. When Lily's with me, I take her to the park. Read her board books. Give her mashed bananas that she throws on the floor. Change diapers. Rock her to sleep when she's fussy. Isabel and I are cordial. Polite. We text about schedules and daycare and pediatrician appointments. That's it. She's with Jordan now. They made it official in August 2024. He seems fine. I saw him once when I dropped Lily off. He was in the living room. Gave me an awkward wave. I nodded back. I don't hate him. I don't hate Isabel either. I'm just done. Done trying to make sense of how we got here. Done replaying conversations. Done wondering what I could have done differently. The truth is, Isabel was right. I am safe. Predictable. Boring. But I'm also the guy who shows up. Who pays child support 2 days early every month. Who rearranged his entire life for a daughter he didn't plan for. I started dating again in April. Her name's Andrea. We met at a coffee shop in Ballard. She's a veterinarian. 30 years old. She knows about Lily. Met her once. Was great with her. We're taking it slow. Really slow. Last week, Lily said her first word. Dada. Isabel texted me immediately. She said it. She said Dada. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I smiled. Maybe that's enough. Edit 1. A few people asked if I ever confronted Jordan. No. What would that accomplish? He didn't owe me loyalty. Isabel did. Edit 2. Yes, I still have hard days. Days where I wonder if I should have tried harder to make it work. But then I remember who I'd be modeling for Lily if I stayed with someone who betrayed me. That answers the question. Edit 3. Someone asked if I'd ever consider getting back with Isabel for Lily's sake. Absolutely not. Co-parenting doesn't require romance. Lily will grow up seeing 2 parents who respect each other enough to do what's best for her. That's healthier than forcing something broken.